Happy birthday, Peter. I'm bringing you this video from my home on April 2nd for your birthday on April 6th. And it's very difficult to breathe through this mask. So if you'll just hang on, I will take it off and try to make a video without it. Okay, now maybe this is a little bit better. I'm outside here at my home in Greenville. As you can see, it is a gorgeous day today. Sitting out here on my back deck, enjoying the beautiful sunshine and taking in the warm weather, at least for the next couple of days. So I'm taping this for your 40th birthday. You were born on April 6, 1980, on a day somewhat unlike today. It was kind of an overcast day, but it was Easter Sunday, and I was brought the best Easter basket a person could ever hope for when you were delivered on that Easter Sunday. So from early on in your life, you've learned a lot of unique skills and acquired many wonderful attributes that I'm proud of. I'm proud of you as a man, as a son, as a father, and as a husband, amongst other things. So I'm going to try and share some of my thoughts with you. We were asked to share some memories or some things that we like about you, or certain things that make you you that we know about. So I want to start with from the day you were brought home, maybe the day after you were brought home. You were molded by your family, primarily by two sisters, one who carried you around by your head almost incessantly because she didn't want anybody else to touch you, and the other one who was a constant protector, who was always looking out for your best interests and didn't want anything to harm you or to come in harm's way when it came to you, and always looked over you during your childhood days. And I think she probably still does today, maybe to a lesser extent. I know she drove your parents crazy with all the things that she thought could go wrong with you, but never seemed to happen. So from those toddler days to the school-age days, I remember so many wonderful things about you. You started at an early age with a keen interest in fixing things and putting things together. Your curiosity was endless. I think about the times that you would make go-karts out of nothing, and probably my fondest memory of something that you created that I thought was ingenious was the door opener that you created out of a pencil sharpener that you attached to a string to the doorknob to the side of your bed so that you could open your door in the morning with a pencil sharpener crank without having to get out of bed, or maybe perhaps even close the door. Not really sure which. But it was that kind of need to learn and try that has shaped who you are today. I don't see that that has ever changed. I think your projects are bigger now, much bigger. When I watch what you have the skill set to do in remodeling, or maybe it's even chopping wood, or maybe it's laying a hardwood floor. Those things are still in you to learn and to do. I think a lot of that you've imparted to your kids. I love the way you've instilled a work ethic in them and the way that they have learned how to do some of the skills that are lifelong skills. You never hesitate to stop teaching. And that started, I think, when you went to college. I wasn't really sure in the first 2 years if you really had the work ethic or the study skills to get you through 4 years of college, but I think you kicked it into gear about your third year. And I was quite proud the day you graduated from the top educational school in the nation as a teacher. Not only was I proud, but I know that your grandparents were very, very proud. You came from a long history of Randall's educators, and I know my dad in particular was so very proud of you in choosing that profession. He saw in you what the rest of us saw was that ability to connect with people, either through your winning smile or your compassion for others or your willingness and your patience to teach. I think we see that today in your connectivity with your students, even with your mother, who has no idea about anything about math. And I know when I call and ask you how to do percentages or how do you divide a fraction, I'm guaranteed a lesson instead of an answer. Sometimes that's very frustrating for me when I just wanted an answer. But your ability to teach me and my ability to learn it is astounding, actually, when I think about it. So that makes you a really good teacher. If I can learn it, you can teach anybody. I do know that in the early days, you developed a passion for horses, and that was evidenced by your riding and your connection with Shamrock, and that connection that lasted right up until the day Shamrock died. And I saw it in your eyes, and I felt it in your heart, that connection that you did have with Shamrock. I remember the trip to Kentucky when we went to see Secretariat, and the thrill in your eyes when the trainer asked you if you wanted to pet Secretariat, a horse that you still to this day have a love for. That's carried through in your love for all pets. Watched you rescue animals, take care of animals, watch them live, help them live the best life they can, and help them transition to the next life in the best way possible. I'm so very proud of that. I guess it's just compassion that you have for all living things. And it doesn't seem to waver, ever. I remember also during your school age days that there were some times that your passion for people was exemplified in different ways, whether it was throwing water balloons through Mr. Phillips' back door or other pranks that you would pull that would bring the Greenville Police Department to our door. But again, it was all with that sense of humor that is sometimes sarcastic but mostly very dry and just makes me chuckle every time I think of things that you have done. I think of you doing the imitation of Gretchen in Stone Mountain is one of my favorite. Listening to you recite almost the complete dialogue to There's Something on the Wing, whatever movie that was, or Dumb and Dumber, or any of those movies that touched you to the point where you would memorize the entire dialogue. It made us all laugh. You had that ability to make us laugh even in times when it was not maybe so appropriate to laugh. I've got some notes here, so that's why I'm kind of going through and talking about the things that I remember the most or that have impacted me the most. I remember the day you left for college, and I remember crying all the way home, and I remember sleeping in your bed for 6 weeks without ever washing the sheets because I just wanted to hang on to that scent as long as I could. You were the last one to leave the nest, but more importantly, you were my only son to leave. It makes a difference, a big difference. They say the love between a mother and a son is different, and it is entirely different. I think that, let me look at my notes, that you're sitting now probably in a place that has been long held in my heart as my favorite place on earth. It's my peaceful place. It's the place I can go when I'm stressed, whether I'm there physically or if I'm there mentally. But I grew up in Goodhart, and you somehow found a way to keep me there through all these years. I am forever grateful for your foresight and your stick-to-itiveness to keep that good heart in our hearts. I know how much you enjoy it up there, and you enjoy it ever much, maybe a little bit more than I did. Probably not more than your grandparents did, but very much so for your family. You're raising a family in a wonderful place with wonderful memories of how life should be. It brings me to how you are as a father. I think you continue to teach with your kids, teach in a way that is loving, respectful, but also somewhat demanding. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that's a good thing. I think they need to know what the expectation is, and you praise them when they've done a good job. I respect that. I love the way you teach them life skills, whether it's chopping wood, or it's how to open a pool, or how to fix a pump, or how to seat a toilet, or how to lay a hardwood floor. Just this last weekend, Opie told me word for word, verbatim, how to lay a hardwood floor. I was astonished at what he had learned. He didn't learn that by just watching. He learned that by being taught. And how proud he was of being able to help you with that wood floor. That's what makes you a great father. You know, I love my grandkids with all my heart, and you know that. And you know that it's like loving your own kids all over again, only better. I'm so very, very proud of what you've done. The other thing I'm very proud of, and I know you didn't get this from me, but your spirituality. Well, maybe you got the spirituality from me, but you do it full on 24/7. And I don't do that. I'd like to be like you in that respect. But I love it when we sit down to a dinner and you always say a prayer. I love it when every time you leave you tell me you love me, or you hang up the phone. Before you hang up the phone, you tell me you love me. I love that you've taught that to your kids, that your kids know the basics of life and the basics of being a good person. And I love that you've been able to impart that to your kids. I guess I love everything about you, Peter. That probably goes without saying, that I have an unconditional love for you, have for 40 years and will have for the next 40 and beyond. I hope you celebrate this birthday in the best way possible, and I hope that you find peace in this world right now that seems so crazy. Stay in Goodheart. That's where it's at. Happy birthday, Peter. I love you.